I'm too lazy to say a preview, so Reddit on Wiki starts right now.
Get therapy.
I'm not reading.
Get therapy.
I tried to pull a Sean over there and make it as unhinged as possible.
Wait, we could have been doing that this whole time? That was
I just wanted to throw you
off.
off.
I am livid.
Well, Josh skipped one a few weeks back, and you looked shocked as hell. So I was like, I might as well surprise my boy.
Holy fucking moly.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? I'm your host today for today's Reddit readings episode. It is I, your punny Pinoy John, and this week I am joined today by my fellow Brown. Say hi, Sean.
How goes it? Wikimaniacs.
It's an Only Browns episode.
Browns only, baby.
Speaking of Browns only, shit. Hey, shout out to what's his name? Carlos.
Oh,
Carlos, right?
Fucking
Carlos Yulo.
yeah. I was gonna say
That's
it starts
his
with a Y. Yeah, Carlos
Yeah,
Yulo.
shout out Carlos Yulo, Philippines.
Double gold, baby.
Two-time gold medalist, baby.
Also got to shout out Houston native and gymnastics goat, fucking Simone Biles, baby.
Oh,
Let's fucking
gosh.
go. Also, Katie Ledecky, also getting hella golds. Let's fucking go. Also, I learned about some cyclists from America who just
Really?
learned how to, just started biking like 10 years ago or something like that. Wasn't even supposed to be in the Olympics. Was an alternate. The person that was supposed to be in dropped out. She got in and then won gold. Eagle sounds. Insert it, Josh. I know that pains you. Play the eagle sound.
Merca. All right. But today's going to be a little bit different. The subreddit has been extremely depressing as usual. So I'm going to venture out, do something different. And we've been doing themed episodes lately. So I'm doing nothing but classics today, and all of them are pulled from r/AskReddit. So
Whoa.
what we're gonna do is go back, way back,
Whoa.
back into time.
That's an intro to
So-
a song, right? Am I tripping?
It is. It's
Okay.
Blackstreet. Don't leave
That's
me.
what it is.
So for all you young Wikimaniacs out there, you probably don't get the reference.
That's a song that won't be played at young Josh's wedding.
Oh no! You're like, who is this? But
All are old
all
as
right.
fuck.
But anything before we get started, my guy.
Just had to give the quick shout out to both the Philippines and the United States, and I think we're good.
Eagle sounds all the way. Josh, put
Apparently,
that-
the bald
put that in
eagle
there.
does not sound like that.
No, that's actually like a falcon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because the actual bald eagle sounds like a real bitch, which also makes a lot of fucking sense for us.
Oh gosh! But before we get to this episode, guys, we do have new merch out. Sean, what is the merch called again?
Decorum!
There you go. Decorum merch is out right now. That's all Sean's idea right there. So he just was like, John, draw this. I'm like, okay.
But John drew it. I guess a little collab, me mentally, and then
It is a
John
collab.
with the execution.
The Browns. with
Browns
the
unite,
connection.
baby.
Josh had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he's not gonna see a fucking dime.
Nah, we love Josh.
Of course.
Hey, hopefully he had fun in his bachelor's party. So
Hell
he'll
yeah.
probably tell us a little bit of a story when he gets back. But he won't be here for today's episode. He also might not be here. Well, he won't be here for Friday's episode too. But he'll be back
We
next
got
week.
somebody lined up.
We got somebody lined up. Someone special lined up. But my guy, ready to get started this episode.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this is all again from r/AskReddit. It's kind of a Sean special. Nothing bad. One could be probably a tearjerker. One's like, oh, this is sweet. Two, pretty funny in my opinion. But
That's good because
this one-
Friday's episode will be devastating.
I had a feeling. I was like, you know what?
The
It's
subreddit
Sean's
is trending
doing-
towards sad, and I know Sean.
I know my boy, so I'm like, I'm not gonna go there. I need a little bit of sanity. All right, so this one is from r/AskReddit, posted originally by MD786 14 years ago, my guy.
Whoa, we're going
14
octa level
years ago.
of classic over here.
Oh, all of them are gonna be classics. 14 years ago, my knees are still okay. My hairline was not as pushed back. I weighed a lot less.
Crazy. Nancy just finished watching Ugly Betty, and that finished up 14 years ago, 2010.
Really?
Just graduated high school that
Holy.
year as well. Wow.
Ugh.
God damn.
Showing our age. But the original question by MD786 was, have you ever picked up a hitchhiker?
Oh.
To which Roner, Rhoner, responded, and this happens to be one of the most upvoted, or if not most favorited story of Reddit in all time. If I'm not mistaken, when they did the anniversary for r/AskReddit, this was a story that was featured for it. So it's in the annals of Reddit history. So we'll tell it here in our podcast today. So Roner responded or replied to the story as this. Just about every time I see someone, I stop. I kind of got out of the habit in the last couple of years, moved to a big city and all that. My girlfriend wasn't too stoked on the practice. Same. I wouldn't do it either. Then some shit happened to me that changed me, and I am back to offering rides habitually. If you would indulge me, it is a long story and has almost nothing to do with hitchhiking other than happening on a road. This past year, I have had 3 instances of car trouble. A blowout on a freeway, a bunch of blown fuses, and an out-of-gas situation. All of them were while driving other people's cars, which, for some reason, makes it worse on an emotional level.
For sure.
It makes it worse on a practical level as well. What with the fact that I carry things like a jack and extra fuses in my car and know enough not to park facing downhill on a steep incline with less than a gallon of fuel. Anyways, each of these times this shit happened, I was disgusted with how people would not bother to help me. I spent hours on the side of the freeway waiting, watching roadside assistance vehicles blow past me for AAA to show. The 4 gas station I asked for a gas can at told me that they couldn't loan them out for my safety, but I could buy a really shitty 1-gallon one with no cap for $15. It was enough each time to make you say shit like, this country is going to hell in a handbasket. But you know who came to my rescue all 3 times? Immigrants. Mexican immigrants. Shout out fellow Browns. None of them spoke a lick of the language, but one of those dudes had a profound effect on me. He was the guy that stopped to help me with a blowout with his whole family of 6 in tow. I was on the side of the road for close to 4 hours. Big Jeep, blown rear tire, had a spare but no jack. I had signs in the windows of the car, big signs that said, need a jack and offered money. No dice. Although that's kind of scary to think about, say, advertising, hey, I got money here, please help me. Right as I am about to give up and just hitch out there, a van pulls over and dude bounds out. He sizes the situation up and calls for his youngest daughter who speaks English. He conveys through her that he has a jack, but it is too small for the Jeep, so we will need to brace it. He produces a saw from the van and cuts a log out of the down tree on the side of the road.
God damn.
We rolled it over, put his jack on top, and bam, in business. I start taking the wheel off, and if you can believe it, I broke his tire iron. It was one of those collapsible ones, and I wasn't careful, and I snapped the head I needed clean off. Fuck.
I want to say I've done that before. My own, though. But
I would just call. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit.
Simple things that I'm always like, that seems simple enough. And then I get halfway through and I'm like, I should have just called somebody.
No worries. He runs to the van, gives it to his wife, and she is gone in a flash. Down the road to buy a tire iron. She is back in 15 minutes. We finished the job with a little sweat and cussing, and I am a very happy man. This is a side note. Every time I see the word iron, it reminds me of that one TikTok video with saying iron, iron.
I don't know if
you've seen that before. It was guys with a Baltimore accent, and he was like, fuck, and he had to enunciate that Aaron, and iron,
I want to say I've seen similar videos to that, though.
It's hilarious as hell. Sorry, I got off track there a little bit. We are both filthy and sweaty. The wife produces a large water jug for us to wash our hands in. I tried to put a 20 in the man's hand, but he wouldn't take it, so I instead gave it to his wife quietly as I could. I thanked them up one side and down the other. I asked the little girl where they lived, thinking maybe I could send them a gift for being so awesome. She says they live in Mexico. They are here so mommy and daddy can pick peaches for the next few weeks. After that, they are going to pick cherries, then go back home. She asked if I had lunch, and when I told her no, she gave me a tamale from their cooler. The best fucking tamale I have ever had. Those home cookings are something else. So, to clarify, a family that is undoubtedly poorer than you, me, and just about everyone else on that stretch of road, working on a seasonal basis where time is money, took an hour or two out of their day to help some strange dude on the side of the road when people in tow trucks were just passing me by. Wow. But we aren't done yet. I thanked them again and walked back to my car and opened the foil on the tamale because I'm starving at this point. And what do I find inside? My fucking $20 bill. I roll around and run up to the van, and the guy rolls his window down. He sees the $20 in my hand and just shaking his head no, like he won't take it. All I can think to say is por favor, por favor, por favor with my hands out. Dude just smiles, shakes his head, and with what looked like great concentration, tried his hardest to speak to me in English. Today you, tomorrow me. Rolled up his window, drove away, his daughter waving to me in the rear view. I sat in my car eating the best fucking tamale of all time, and I just cried like a little girl. It had been a rough year and nothing has broke my way. This was so out of left field and I just couldn't deal. In the 5 months since, I have changed a couple of tires, given a few rides to gas stations, and once went 50 miles out of the way to get a girl to an airport. I won't accept money. And every time I tell them the same thing when we are through. Today you, tomorrow me.
That's a great fucking story. I will say it's just the cynical American in me. I would be too scared. I'm just so scared. But I mean, I've always wanted to, like, every time I see, like, especially when people are like in their uniform already, like work uniforms, I'm like, I know where that restaurant is. I could take you there, or like wherever that fast food or gas station, I could take you there. But I'm always just, I don't know why. It's just like built in us, like stranger danger. Like in America, as opposed to other countries. I mean, I don't know, because I haven't lived that experience, but I feel like from what I hear is like other countries are big on like community and things like that. And like,
agreed.
Not so much stranger danger. And I see that there are pros and cons of both. You know what I mean? It's good to not have to worry about that, but then it's also dangerous to let your guard down too much, because then bad things could happen, which we see all the time. So, I mean, it goes both ways, but what is happening in that story is very admirable and something that I've always wanted to do.
No, I'm the same way. And I can kind of speak a little bit of perspective on what you said. It's, as you said, you haven't really experienced that. Me having been born and raised in the Philippines, and I grew up and lived there and moved to America when I was about 10 years old. I got to see what community is like. And slowly, and it's kind of funny that you say it's the cynical American in you. That became me towards the more I lived here as well. So back in the Philippines, community is such a big thing, especially growing up in a smaller town, a smaller neighborhood. We're not really around the city area, so you know the neighbors, and the neighbors know you very well, and their reputation is everything. And it is a big community feel. So every time like we make, excess food, we don't throw it away like majority of people do here in the US. We knock on a neighbor's door and be like, hey, we have some extra food. Would you like some? And they do vice versa. And it's always favors, like, hey, if someone's going to the market, they'll pick something up for you. It's not an expectation for you to return the favor, but because you're trying to be neighborly, trying to have that community sense of feeling, you kind of do the same thing for them. And it kind of went away from me. I've gotten a lot more selfish the more I live.
It's just
in the US.
The culture is just so individualistic. You know what I mean? Like everyone is out for their own, for better or for worse. So yeah, it's just different, unfortunately.
And you see it in the style of, and this, we talked about this in past episodes. It might be in past stories when we were talking to Patreon. We can just use food for example. So much different cultures have like a sharing type of culture, or like family style sharing when it comes to food. American cuisine, or just American food in general, it's a lot more individualistic, like you said. And as opposed to like Asian countries or European countries where you sit in a table, everyone shares that meal, and you pick off each other's food, as opposed to like, hey, this is a serving of a burger that's just specific for you as an individual.
Yeah. Like dim sum,
so that whole
tapas.
Community setting is Yeah. Oh my god.
What's the
don't get me
Filipino
started with tapas,
kamayan?
boy.
Is that
Kamayan
Yeah.
boodle fight with the freaking banana leaves. So
Mhm.
yeah, it is. It sucks because I also want to be like that, but just living here and just to see how people are kind of which it's unfortunate because there are some really great people out there who wants to help,
Yeah.
and I don't know. And I see people online where admittedly, they do post videos saying like, oh, hey, go to a restaurant and say like, hey, I want to order like 20 burgers for the homeless. And people are so cynical. They're like, oh, why are you doing it for clout? Why are you doing it for video? And I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, people still get to eat. You know what I'm saying? It's a win-win for everybody. Like the restaurant gets some exposure, the homeless gets to eat, you know, but I don't know. It's just a cynical nature of people. I wish there's a little bit more kindness here, but it's kind of hard to do it in the US, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the culture, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let us know what you think.
And I think it's all because of goddamn capitalism, if you ask me. The root of all evil.
Talk to him. All right. Well, let's kind of go to a funnier one. We haven't had like a bodily function story.
Yeah, I've been asking for the poop.
It ain't poop.
Oh.
It's a milder version of it. But this one is again from r/AskReddit, originally posted by I Am Batman.
Great.
The
name.
question is,
you must have been an early adapter of Reddit to get that one.
Right. The question is, how would life and society be different if we farted with the same ferocity and spontaneity that we sneeze?
Oh, smellier for sure. Sure. Sneezes don't leave a bad scent, an aura around a room. Yeah, I don't know. I think people might just be too comfortable with each other. I don't know if I would enjoy it if people openly farted. I mean, I fart
that's
around
one
the
community
boys.
aspect I don't want.
I rip it around the boys. I don't care around the boys. Nancy, I'm ripping 75%. Some are
I'm ripping
just
complete
too big.
ass with Juliet, bro. Like complete. If anything, she's seen my final form. So out of anybody,
my family also probably like 75 to 100. You know, if kids and stuff, I don't want to be a bad example per se. But yeah, boys 100%. Nancy, out of to spare her soul, 75%. Then strangers, I'm not ripping ass unless
I'm sending
I
full
am
ass.
99% sure, because you can never be 100% sure that it's going to be silent.
It's true.
You could never be 100.
Well, I picked this story because it is kind of on track with like the Olympics as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
This one is responded by Amy Makes, and this one was posted 10 years ago. The story goes as this. When I was in 6th grade, my small town school track team did very well and was allowed to compete in the state finals. My event was a 200-meter dash. And while I did okay against the other small towns we normally faced, I had no chance at state. This was pretty much the case for most of us, so we mostly goofed off and explored the massive arena and whatever. I wasn't allowed soda at home, but somebody bought me a huge Coke and I thought it was pretty great.
Hell yeah.
Came time for me to run my race. Well, actually my heat in the preliminaries at this thing was so big time, it actually had more runners that would fit on the track once. Coach tells me to do my best and have fun. Nobody expects much, it's just an honor to be there. This is like playing at when I played volleyball in high school, like we qualified for a freaking, like a state, like, to play against like these top ranked teams.
Oh yeah. You played against a fucking Olympian
Chase Buttinger,
right now.
baby.
A fucking Olympian volleyball player.
That's exactly the fucking story. And oh my God, that arena where we played, I was like, man, this shit is nice. I proceeded to get hit so many goddamn times. No one in my team was past 5'8". And no one in the team against us was anything below 6'5".
Yeah, was Chase already fully grown at that point?
Dude, I think he was a senior because I played. Yeah, he was a senior. I was a sophomore during that time. And oh my God.
That seems fucked.
Dude.
But also kudos to you for being a sophomore on varsity, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's my only good sport. Everything else, I was a bench warmer.
Hey, man.
I lined up on this beautiful wide cinder track with maybe 15 lanes and an unbelievable crowd watching. Big grandstands full of people, all new to me. I get kind of excited about the whole thing. So we all set our feet in the blocks, crouch down and tense up, waiting for the shot from the starter pistol. Meanwhile, a hush settles over the crowd. We're on edge, waiting for the bang. When the starter fires, I take this huge leap forward like I'm going to sprint the whole 200 meters. This massive physical effort simultaneously propels the most violent, loudest fart of my life out of my preteen stinkhole. Most of the crowd hasn't trained to the peak physical level that I have, so their reaction to the pistol shot is a tiny bit slower. The effect is that after the bang, but before anyone makes a single sound, my fart echoes through the arena with an unbelievable clarity and tone. For everyone there, it's just like, bang, fart.
Bro, honestly, as the runner, no one knows it's you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have distracted your competition, which may work out in your favor. I hope. Fingers crossed that's where this leads.
It could. I manage a few strides just out of the instinct before realization of what's happening starts to set in.
Focus.
I glance over at the crowd, and in that split second, I can just see it on everyone's face. They know. They all know. And they are looking right at me.
There's no way they knew. I think that one is,
You're just paranoid.
yeah, you're projecting because you know.
This starts me laughing super hard while also running as hard as I ever have. And what's my body reaction to that unusual combination? Yup, fart a lot more.
Oh,
However, I am now taking strides pretty rapidly, so instead of one big blast, I'm ripping a little one with each step.
that's fucking incredible. What the fuck?
I can't even think of what letters could represent the sound. If you can imagine a rapid series of very brief, very loud farts, that's pretty much it. This whole situation has only taken like 10 seconds to develop. We aren't even halfway done, yet I've farted about 15 times. I literally could not continue from laughing so damn hard. I stumbled to a hunched over stop right there in the middle of the fanciest arena I've ever been to, giggling like the farting idiot I am. I then realize that nobody's rushing past me, which, come to think of it, should have happened by this time in the race regardless of the fart situation. I turn around and every one of the other runners is either lying on the ground or crouched over laughing just as hard as I am. Literally crying.
Okay, so they did know. The whole crowd knew because you're the only one that ran.
Apparently, my fart-propelled lunge off the line had taken most of them out, and the rest succumbed to my staccato and encore presentation. And that's a story of how an entire heat was eliminated from the 200-meter state finals with no one competing the event, which I was told had never happened before in the history of state finals. I escaped amazingly unscathed as a tiny handful of people from my school were all setting up for their own events and not watching. There were rumors of a second farter, and basically they let me walk away. I hid in the school bus till we left, and my coach was the only person to ever speak to me about it. He didn't laugh, but he also didn't yell at me.
What was his reaction?
He was like, "Oh well, shit, everyone's eliminated."
I feel like as soon as I noticed nobody ran past me, I would fucking oh shit, and just. But also the comedy of the situation would make it tough to finish running. Kudos to even getting halfway through the fucking 100 meters is pretty fucking crazy.
Oh man, this reminds me of a story when I was in boot camp, and we were in formation. And when you're in formation, perfectly still, perfectly stoic. And we were, I think, from where I can remember, it was like a few weeks before graduation week. So we were like ramping up, making sure that everything's good, everyone's squared away. And I was the shortest person. So how it goes is the tallest person in the front, the shortest people in the back. So my ass was all the way in the back, right? Mm. And there was this big giant dude in my flight, and he rips the loudest fart I've ever heard in my life. And you just see a whole fucking formation like dominoes. It was like, like from laughing. And dude, I don't think I remember a time where like my arms were so sore because my drill instructor was so pissed off that our whole flight just fucking laughed our ass off. I think we did push-ups for like 2 hours straight.
Jesus Christ. Did he didn't laugh, I presume.
No, he didn't break at all. I'm just like, man, what a goddamn professional. I was fucking.
I wonder how many groups
dude.
Just
Everyone else
ass.
was laughing, and I'm like, well, I mean, we all can't. We're already in trouble. Am I?
Yeah, even if you laugh or don't laugh, you're gonna end up doing the push-ups.
Yeah, you
so
do it
might
as
well
you do it
just-
as a team. I was like, God damn, and that was the loudest fart I've ever heard in my life. And to this day, I'm like, dude, that's probably why I have shoulder injuries from that.
2 hours of push-ups is insane.
Dude, it was straight up. It was straight up, and it was that was a nightmare.
I'm not gonna lie, I do knee-assisted push-ups. I'm so fucking weak.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, every time I go to like F45 and I'm like, oh yeah, do like burpees or whatever. I do a burpee, but like when it gets the push-up part, I'm like, oh, fuck my ass. I need to bench more, brother.
Let's go. I wish I can work out with you. I've been at the gym every day.
Dude, I'd go over to your house all the time to work out at your little home gym.
Anyways, all right, moving on to the next story. This one is a little short, and I just got it because it's hilarious as fuck, and everyone is stupid in this story. But this one is from r/AskReddit, and this one is posted by Preop Transcentaur. The title is, "You can have sex with one real person from all of human history. Who is your ultimate lay?"
Wow.
I'm not answering that question because I'm gonna
I'll answer.
The answer is
Nancy Martinez, baby.
That's right. Well, Phil
She'll go,
8248
easy. Fucking Oscar Isaac, I guess.
probably.
Okay.
Or Manny Jacinto, you fucking
Dude.
asshole. He's a sexy
I fucking
motherfucker. I
get
ain't
it.
gonna lie. Hey, bro, he's hot as shit. No lie. Anyways, Phil 8248 commented, "I'd like to have sex one more time with my wife."
How many
who
years
passed
ago was
away
this?
from This was 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm already very sad.
I know. I'd like to have sex one more time with my wife who passed away from cancer 9 years ago. My body yearns for her. The ultimate downside to finding the one is she may die young and leave you wanting. To which something obscure commented, "I also choose this guy's dead wife."
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking insane. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Holy shit. That's crazy. I also choose this. Fuck you, man. Holy shit. Absolutely not. Out of pocket. No fucking way.
That's probably the shortest story you've ever seen, but
Oh.
man, that shit packed a punch big time, dude.
How many fucking upvotes?
Oh my gosh, let me just check. It's so fucking much. 28,000 upvotes.
My God. Not a comment. I don't know if I've ever seen that. That's a lot. God. Imagining fucking writing something so sentimental and nice and being like, that's a good one. And then coming back an hour later, oh my fucking God. He also yearns for the touch of my dead wife? That's crazy.
He said would.
Would. The fucking meme, everybody holding him back.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that was a story. But oh my gosh, that guy is so fucking unhinged. All right. Also, next story for this one. I wouldn't really call it a story. And you can chime in on here. And if there's also like male Wikimaniacs that listen to us or men Wikimaniacs that listen to us, let us know what you think about this one. But this one is posted 13 years ago on r/AskReddit by Rock and Rolla Ayatollah. Is this Chris Jericho?
Yeah, Chris Jericho himself? Mr. Y2J?
The question is, men, what unmanly things do you do that you're not ashamed of?
I mean, what is manly and what isn't manly? You know what I
True.
mean? Just such a fucking an annoying conversation to have. But if we're talking stereotypes, I love a pedicure. I love treating myself. Nice haircut.
right.
When I get a haircut, you best believe I'm paying extra to get the shampoo and conditioner part.
Ooh.
That part's nice. Little head massage. I like massages.
That's why my guy has the best hair, man.
They're nice, brother. What can I say?
Yeah.
What else? I care about clothes. I care about shoes. I don't know what else is stereotypically.
Is that considered
not
not manly for caring about clothes, hygiene, and how
Yes.
you look? I mean, I don't give a shit about how I look. or
basically,
clothes.
not being a caveman, I think, is stereotypically unmanly. That's why I don't want to, like, when I go to work, I put on I'm not trying to fucking stunt out because I work with a bunch of older people, and I'm not trying to be like, wow, he tries really hard to look nice. I'm just trying to do bare minimum look nice. You know what I mean? Save the really good looking nice for, I don't know, friends
You ain't
and
gotta
family.
do much, brother. You already look good all the time.
Oh, stop it. Keep going. Stop it.
All right, well, I'm gonna read some comments, and Wikimaniacs, please feel free to chime in on the comments.
I wanna
What
hear
do you
yours,
think
too.
Me? I love being pampered. That's
Oh,
one of
you
my
do love a
favorite
good
things.
pampering.
I love a good pampering, massages,
Oh.
all the bougie stuff. When Juliet took me pedicure one time, please put fruits on my legs before
Bro,
you fucking
pedicures are so
Pedicures?
nice,
I'm
brother.
saying.
Every time I ask a friend that, like a guy friend, if they've gotten one and they say no, I'm like, you gotta try it. I don't have to be there. Go with your girl. I'm sure she'd love to have you there. They are nice, brother. They put the little hot bag of hot wax and they put that
You know
in
what
your
I'm
leg.
talking about?
Sometimes they'll do the hot stones on there. I'm like, oh
Yes.
shit.
Bro, they start putting oranges on my
yes.
my calf area. I'm
And then like
oh, this
scrubbing
is-
it with like sugar or some
yeah.
shit.
It tickles, but
But it's not.
hey.
Oh, bro. And then they get the fucking cheese grater and fucking make Parmesan out of your foot. It's crazy.
Well, I'll read a bunch of comments. And again, Wikimaniacs, please feel free to chime in. And Sean, you can chime in if this is something that you don't mind doing either. So, Emotional Millionaire commented, sit down while peeing. Fuck the haters.
Okay, hot take. I've always wondered, yes, we can, and it is easier for us to pee standing up. Ethically, should we? Is that a thing we should do? Because we leave messes. I'm not going to lie. I feel like people leave a mess.
For sitting down?
No, standing up.
Oh, standing up.
I feel like
yeah.
standing up peeing, while convenient, and while that's what I do, sometimes when I just look at the mess other people leave, I'm like, should this be illegal? Should we not have the freedom? Because we do not deserve it sometimes. But then sometimes I go into a public restroom to pee in a stall or whatever because all the urinals are taken.
Urinals, yeah.
And then I'm like, I absolutely would not sit down on this. So I get it both ways. You know what I mean? There is just public restrooms, unless it's a Buc-ee's. Shout out Buc-ee's. Are just a fucking nightmare.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm the same. I mean, in the morning when morning wood is full force, full attention, yeah, I'll sit down. Fuck it. I'm like, well, I don't want to splash it everywhere.
You see that fucking Chris and Ryan sent me this. It's those two British guys that have the podcast. They're popular on TikTok. You and Josh have mentioned them.
Oh, yeah. Shits and gigs.
I think so, yeah. They were like, oh yeah, when you're sitting down on a toilet, is your dick resting on like the seat or like pushed inside? And then all three of us were like, damn, you could have a dick big enough to like sit on something? Bro, we were like, where's your balls as your answer? It's fucking,
perched up.
Yeah. It's just standing up at attention, unfortunately.
I can't relate to that fucking issue.
Yeah, what y'all talking about? On the seat. That's possible?
Hipster on a bike commented, I like being I like being the little spoon. There's just something about the way that boobs push into your back that's quite pleasant. And I 100%
Little
agree
spoons are
on that.
nice.
A little spoon's the best, bro.
I do prefer a big spoon, but every once in a while, a little spoon they be hitting.
I prefer, I'm like 70-30. I prefer a little spoon over, I don't like my arms being dead, bro. It's annoying.
You want her arm dead.
Yeah, I want her arm dead. It's fine. As long as I'm comfortable. A slow old man commented, when I see a puppy, my voice get ridiculously high pitched. I fucking love puppies. I agree.
I don't
Every
do
time
the
I see you
high-pitched.
guys' pets come out, I'd be like, oh my God.
I do
kitty."
baby voice, which is not any better. Sometimes worse, actually.
I get way too excited when I see pets in a camera. Catatonic commented, bubble baths. I don't take baths much, but I do. But if I do, you best believe there's going to be bubbles galore in that bath. I'm on that shit too.
I've never done that shit.
Oh my God.
As an adult.
Oh,
But I'm sure it's fire.
it's fire. That shit's relaxing as hell. Oh, and when this is going back to Japan again. I guess every time we vacation somewhere, after like a long day of walking, give me the Epsom salt. Give me all the freaking bath aromat, whatever it's called, bath bombs. I'm laying in that bitch for a little bit. I'm gonna be comfortable.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Stern Helden commented, carrying my girlfriend's shoulder bag in public because fuck you, I love her. I do the same.
I wear my own bag actually, so it's
I be rocking that shit.
yeah. I be having my own bag. I don't care.
Well, deleted user, cry in private from frustration, sadness, and pain. I do it publicly.
If you're not
On
doing
camera.
that, I
Sometimes
think
for free.
you need to. I think that's you need to let some things out, unfortunately, or
Yeah,
fortunately.
once a week.
Everyone has things.
Once
they
a
gotta
week
let
in
out.
I got a little dummy practice, or what do you call that? Like a punching bag here at home.
Mm.
Oh man, every time I'm just like, well, I'm pissed off. I'm just gonna punch things there
Hell yeah.
out of frustration. And last one by What's Lower Score Reddit. Scream when I see a roach.
No,
Not Ogta though.
I kill the roaches. Sorry, Octa fans. I kill roaches and then Nancy kills the spiders because I scream when I see spiders.
Ooh,
I don't like
I
spiders.
scream when I see snakes, or if I think it's a snake but it's really a worm, I still scream.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I get the snake
bitch.
thing, but I mean, how big does a worm have to be for you to confuse it?
I don't know. Anytime I see something slithering, and sometimes I'm not wearing my glasses and I
guess
can't
that's
see
fair.
for shit,
I guess that's fair.
I'll be like, "Oh shit!"
Did I tell you the
scream.
one time when I used to have a pool as a kid and I was swimming and then my mom like ran out and was like, snake. And then I saw it behind me and it was swimming. And then I like got out.
Swimming?
Yeah, swimming after me. And then my mom like ran over and she's like, come over here. And then I ran out of the pool and then she had a big ass knife. And then the snake like got out of the pool and she fucking and like killed it in front of me. I was like, you're a fucking badass. That was sick.
Was this like a boa or some shit?
No. It was a garden snake. Probably 3 feet at longest.
Hell,
At
that's
the-
like
at longest.
2 inches shorter than I
Honestly,
am. Goddamn.
probably 16 inches. So like a foot and a half, maybe. But
Hell,
I was
no.
like, I don't know, 8, 9. So it looked humongous.
Hell no, I'm not doing that shit, bro.
It was bright and green. And my mom fucking, yeah.
Oh, well, if that was me and my kid was a snake, I'm like, you're on your own, buddy.
Watch out, bro. Watch out, bro.
Damn, call your mom because I ain't doing it. That's crazy.
Kevin, get his ass.
Kevin probably would. Kevin's a lot braver than I am. All right. Well, on to the last story before we hit the Amazing Underbakke section. This one's quite long. That's why I picked those two, because they're a little bit they were a little bit shorter. But this one is from r/AskReddit once again, and the original poster was average lower score smaverage.
Wow.
And their question is, what is a story you have been dying to tell? Yoinky 2013 posted this 10 years ago, and it goes as this. When I was 15 years old, I ran away from home because I was pissed off at my parents for a reason I can't remember. I didn't have much money, so I decided to hop onto the SkyTrain and ride it as far as I would go. I reached the end of the line in less than an hour and decided I wanted to ride it all the way back again, while trying to formulate some kind of plan of how I wanted to live the rest of my life without my parents or anyone. At the last stop, or the first stop depending on your perspective of it, a girl came on and sat in the row right behind me. I didn't pay much attention to her at first as I was busy writing my life plan out on a napkin. It was a few minutes later that she got up and came sat next to me, curious as to what I was writing. I told her a story, and after a few laughs, we began talking about everything and anything. Her name was Amanda, 17 years old, and absolutely wonderful. She told me she was getting off at the last stop, which was also the first stop, depending on how you look at it. It was also the stop I had gotten on originally, and I told her we would ride to it together. The train ride took less than an hour, and what a wonderful hour indeed. When the last stop did come, we both knew we probably wouldn't see each other ever again. As we got to the end of the sidewalk, which split into the 2 different directions, she went right and I went left. Before saying goodbye, she turned to me and asked me a question that has become a wonderful part of my life. She asked me, "Tell me something you have done or want to do that you think I should do. It can be anything, as challenging as you want it to be or as easy. As long as you give me the rest of my life to complete it, I promise I will do it." I was confused as to why, but I thought about it and told her, "Sing a song a cappella in a room full of strangers." She said perfect and asked me if I would like a challenge as well. I told her I did, and she told me Read from start to finish Ulysses by James Joyce. I had never heard of it at the time, but I agreed and we said our goodbyes. I have an awful memory and I can't remember most conversations I have with most people. Same. But I remember all of that clearly. You know why? Because of the challenge she gave me in the 12 years that have passed since. I have tried to read that book in over 150 different sittings. Every time I open my copy of the 780-page monster of a book, I always think of her. And I always think of that day. I've never been sure it was her intent or not, but she left her lasting memory on me with that challenge. I soon after learned what she did was a complete wonderful and amazing things for me. So I decided to keep it going. I've met a lot of strangers in my life, some that have become friends, and some, due to living in different time zones and whatnot, didn't. I don't want to just have experiences and let them go, and I want to remember these meetings and embrace the fact that they have happened. So whenever I leave someone who has left an amazing impact on my life, I always make sure to add them to my Ulysses bucket list. I ask them to give me a challenge, as difficult or as easy as they want it to be. And regardless of the fact that they had done it or not, simply something their heart has had wanted to do. Some have been easy and fun. I met a man in India 9 years ago who told me to, for a week or a month, cook/buy twice as much food as I intend on eating and give the other half to a stranger in need. I completed that mission 8 years ago and thought about that man and the time we had all the way through. I met a girl on a cruise 6 years ago who told me to jump into a body of water on a slightly cold day without touching or feeling the temperature of the water first. I did that very same year. I met a couple at an outdoor music festival a few years ago, told me to wear the most bizarre outfit imaginable and walk through a public place, completely oblivious to the fact that you aren't looking normal. I did that task that very next day at the same festival. Some have been difficult, to say the least. 3 guys I met in Amsterdam and smoked all night with told me to go to a mall and give 10 strangers 10 presents. That one took a lot of courage, but I did it a year or so after I met them. It was nerve-wracking, but at the same time exhilarating, leaving my comfort zone. A girl I met on a plane told me to skydive. I'm still in the process of getting that done. And a couple I met in Cali on the beach told me to tell 5 people I hated the most that I love them and respect them. That one was very difficult because of my stubbornness, but I've come close to completing that list many a times, and they put 2 more to go. And some things have had an everlasting impact on my life. I met a girl at a music festival who told me that whenever I get mad at someone, walk away, sing my happy song in my head for 5 minutes, go back to the person I'm mad at with a calm heart and mind, and work things out. I've made this my way of life. I once met a man at the gym in a hotel I was staying at that told me, whenever your body and brain cells tells you that you are exhausted and done, use your heart instead and push out 2 more reps. I've made this motto when working out or working on any kind of extenuating exercise in which my body demands me to quit. I also use it while working on anything and while studying. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever received. So Sean, do real push-ups pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
There are many others that each brought joy to my life. There are still many tasks I have yet to accomplish, and every time I think of these tasks, I think of the people that gave them to me. It amazes me how well I remember all these people. Well, I can't remember so many aspects of even yesterday. These experiences, not only do I take from them a mission or a challenge, I also take from them a memory of them that never fails to appear inside of my mind. I opened my Ulysses book for probably the 300th time yesterday and read a few pages, which prompted me to share this story with you today. I'm in the final 30 pages of the book, also known as the most dreaded on the read. I never saw Amanda after that day, nor do I know if she ever did get a chance to sing a song to a room full of strangers. But what I do know is that she gave me a gift that has never once stopped giving. So wherever you may be, thank you for giving me the Ulysses bucket list. And I swear I'll finish it one day. My life advice? Simple. Create your own Ulysses bucket list.
Oh yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would follow through a lot, but every time that I remember that I didn't do it, I think about that person and be like, oh, that motherfucker.
And you know what's also cool thing about this? Ever since that post happened, that Ulysses bucket list is now one of a popular subreddit now as well.
Oh, it's its own subreddit.
It's its own subreddit now.
Where people give each other like challenges.
Bucket list. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's tight.
It's pretty neat. Yeah. And there is an update for this one that we could talk about. And then we can we can ask each other if you want. What's a bucket list you have? So I'm giving you a little bit of time now if you want to disclose that. If not, that's perfectly fine as well. But this is the update from that story posted 10 years ago as well. I'm kind of lacking words at the moment, and I'm in awe of the power of the universe. Writing the story was just to relive a moment in my life and to share with others and maybe help them in some sort of way. Never did I think there was a slightest chance I would actually get to talk to her again, but that's exactly what happened. Last night, I found out that the Amanda there was an OP that asked in the original thread like, "Hey, this sounds like a friend of mine," and they were able to connect each other with them. Was in fact the Amanda I met 14 years ago. She replied to my email. Her pics matched the face of the girl I remember, and her side of the story matches exactly as well. Now I know that Reddit loves proof somewhat, so here her first response to my email I sent her, and there was an image of the email. I'll link that on the show notes. It's not much, that's all I can give you. Friendship is about trust, and I just met her again. I can't go around posting her emails on an open forum like Reddit. Please, out of respect for her and me, don't email me asking her for her pics or any other information of that sort. Fucking, I don't know why Reddit does that shit.
That's so creepy. What the fuck?
Sometimes the world and the universe seem so significant that you, in comparison, start feeling small. I can't yet put into words how thankful I am to all of you for reading my story, upvoting it for visibility, and helping me find, that person who sent them. I don't want to put their username just in case. Who in turn led me to her. It blows my mind when I really start to think about it. She lives in Georgia now, so it's unlikely I will get to see her again. But as this story is proof, weirder things have happened. Thank you, Reddit. I will really never forget what you did for me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And last update that they put, for those of you asking, she sang in front of strangers a few times, but that wasn't a challenge. The challenge was to do it in a cappella. I think it's kind of a beautiful in a way that she hasn't done hers, and I haven't finished Ulysses yet. And I told her maybe one day we could Skype and I could read her the last page of Ulysses and she could set up her cam in a bar or a coffee shop somewhere and just start singing. We'll keep you all posted of it, and when we do finish the original 2 list items, we do have the rest of our lives to complete them.
That's awesome.
Do you have a bucket list that you always wanted to do?
Mm,
That you could take forever for the rest of your life?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it, to be honest. I mean, there are things that I want to do, but I don't know if it's like, I've never thought of it of, yeah, that's the bucket list type of thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What about you?
I've been kind of stewing about this for a little bit, and it's crazy because in a way, it is kind of crossed off already. I always wanted to start a business.
Mhm.
I don't know what yet, but technically we have a business.
Technically, LLC
technically
is
we do.
formed.
It is. It's our name in there, but I've always kind of wanted to do something as well that's, I'm not saying that this is going to be like a moment in time, because content creation is pretty volatile. So you never really know when the last ride is going to be.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where like, well, I want to have something that's lasting. So I'm trying to force myself to read a little bit more, maybe read a little bit more books about like how to properly set up a business or just, things in nature to kind of get me set up there. I've been trying, all the books that I've read, all of them are saying that people get hung up so much on the idea phase, and that's what takes them forever to do it. Sometimes you just got to learn from mistakes. Sometimes you just got to trial by error. So
That's what happened with
I've
this
been
show.
trying to,
We just did it.
it's true. And I'm just trying to muster up that courage because I'm still feeling kind of imposter syndrome about it. I'm like, well, no one's gonna fucking listen, or no one's gonna buy this product or this idea. But here we are 3 years fucking later and we're still doing the thing. So
It's crazy.
I don't know yet. But Wikimaniacs, if you have something that you want to share with us, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Would like to hear it from everybody, to be honest. All right, well, we're capping off this segment for the free show, part of the show, with the segment from the Amazing Underbakke.
Oh, yeah.
And this one is this poster okay? Movie edition. I am the worst at this because I don't watch much movies. So I might not have much ideas
I used
about
to think
it, but
I haven't seen that many movies until I met John. And then I was like, okay, I've seen a decent amount of movies then, I guess.
yeah, not me. All I watch is wrestling and sports.
And then Love Island USA season 6.
We need to be sponsored by them. We need to get like a rewatch podcast at this point.
It's so fucking great. It's the fucking best.
These are both from r/unpopular opinion. This first one is from Mr. Movie Guy, and they put Alvin and the Chipmunks fan base is just as toxic as Star Wars.
That's insane. I didn't know the fan base was big enough to be toxic.
For Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I didn't know it was, enough to be even in the same breath as Star Wars fans. So that's kudos to y'all, I guess. Or maybe not, because it sounds like y'all might suck.
We'll see. All right, so they put, so I've noticed something as a fan of the Chipmunks, and that is the fan base. Now, I'm not saying that all fans are like this, but I came across plenty of toxic and even problematic fans. For example, whoever came up with this question, who's getting the best head? Like, why the hell would someone think of making that question?
Out of Alvin the Chipmunks? Subreddit?
I guess so.
Yo, what? Yo, imagine just going on the subreddit, expecting to see some fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks shit, all rated G or PG, and then that's the top upvoted. Holy shit. There's got to be a separate, you have a normal fandom subreddit and then a fucking unhinged one, right? There's got to be two separate ones. You can't be posting that in the normal one.
Fucking Chipmunks hawk touring it.
Oh my god, bro! What?
The last thing they put is also there have been people making tons of fan art of Alvin and Simon kissing like their brothers, for Christ's sake. Like, why? Why?
Jesus Christ.
So is this poster okay?
Yeah, I'm with them. Actually, get it together, Alvin fans. That's not cool. Make your own subreddit. Don't be weird. I mean, you can be weird, no kink shaming, but don't be weird on main.
Have a dummy account or something.
Yeah, what the fuck? On the main subreddit? Make your own place to be weird.
Oh, shit. All right, post number 2. From
Imagine just going on there to post like, man, I really did enjoy Alvin and the Chipmunks 1, but the 2 was very disappointing. I should share my fucking opinions on this. Goes to the subreddit. Who do you think has the biggest fucking tits? What the fuck? What are you talking about? What is this?
Oh, God. Oh, man. All right, next post is from Better Western 8965. They put, Forrest Gump sucks.
The film?
Forrest Gump was way too overhyped. I heard a lot of people saying how good it was, and I was looking forward to watching it. But when I did, it sucked so bad. The Vietnam part was sad, and Bubba was the only good part. But after he died, the whole movie went downhill. Spoiler. And also, I hate Jenny with every fiber of my body. That part I agree.
Yeah, from what I remember, she wasn't great. But again, probably 2 decades since I've seen it. Maybe 3+. No, not 3+. I'm only 32.
Because then you're only 30.
Yeah, I'm only 32. Yeah, so at least 2 decades since I've seen fucking, I almost called the movie Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. So I truly can't remember, but I just can't imagine it being technically a bad film. It feels like it was nominated for everything. And
yeah.
Iconic scenes that are mimicked to this day or homaged. What is it? Is there
That's the word.
Is there a verb for it?
Homage sounds right.
That sounds, I don't know if that could be used in a past tense, but a lot of scenes that movies now copy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's moving.
I think by definition that's iconic when people steal scenes or pay homage in new movies and shit. So I don't know. I got to say poster not okay on that one.
I agree. Poster not okay. Opinion kind of sucks. Except the last part. I do agree. I hate Jenny in that show or in that movie.
Yeah. She used him a lot, right? I forget. But she was also abused. No? Or am I
She was.
mistaken? Okay.
But not an excuse to be an asshole to anybody.
Yeah.
Especially Forrest.
Hurt people hurt people. Oh.
Yeah. Don't do that. That is it for today's episode. It is a lot shorter when there's only one person reacting, huh?
A little bit, but we kind of ended kind of the same. Kind of the same. Yeah.
That's true. All right. Well, let us know what you think, Wikimaniacs. But before we do that, Sean, anything you'd like to add or address?
thank y'all for coming to our 3-year live show. That was a fucking blast.
That was.
It hasn't technically happened as the time of recording, but we're manifesting it like we always do, baby. It was a blast, and there were no technical difficulties. Love that.
Oh, God. What a jinx.
Nope. A manifest.
A manifest. I love it. Speaking of, comment what's your goal or manifest that you've always been dreaming of. Let us know what you want, or let us know what you want to do someday, and maybe it'll come true. Or you want us to challenge you with something, comment down below. But that is it for this week. Also, wanted to quickly shout out, again, based on what we announced earlier, we do have new merch out. Reddit-on-wikishop.com if you want to wear that. What's the word again, Sean?
Decorum.
If you want to rock that decorum shirt or jacket or that mug, head on over to reddit-on-wikishop.com. I've seen people saying that we need to have more, we need to have some sort of like clips channel. We do have a clips channel, so check us out on Reddit on Wiki Clips. That is us. That is not someone else's account. If you want to hear these stories in a short form, minus the fluff, because we do talk a lot in the side, but it's okay. That's what makes the show fun for us. That's also an option for y'all. It is a shorter, condensed version of the episodes or the stories. So subscribe, Reddit on Wiki Clips. Help us have more stream of income. Or on TikTok as well. We started posting clips on TikTok as well. It's under Reddit on Wiki. That is us. Everyone else is a dude.
2 TikToks.
So, yes, Reddit on Wiki Pod on TikTok or Reddit on Wiki on TikTok. So that's us. Or Reddit on Wiki Clips on YouTube. Those are us as well. So feel free to subscribe. And yeah, other than that, appreciate you, Sean, for rocking with me this episode. But till then, we'll see you next Friday, Wikimaniacs. Bye.
Later.
Get therapy.